Hello, beautiful friends. It's Kathryn. And hello on this glorious day. It is so beautiful outside. The sun is shining. I can't wait to get outside. Happy 12/12. If the light is a little too much, I might have to change that. Not that I don't want the sunlight coming in, because I do. So hello, I'm going to share this in a few places. Happy 12/12. Hey, hello. Say hello. Let me know you're here. All right, just waiting to upload here. Okay, there I am. Yay. And so hopefully I'll be able to see your comments. So welcome. I'm so excited to share this with you. Let's see, more options. Yeah, I want to share to a group. There we go. Hello. I'm going to share it there. Hello, those who are joining. I'm going to wait a second, see who's going to jump on. Happy 12/12. Let's transmute some negative emotions. And they're not really negative so much because it's all contrast, right? It's all contrast. And contrast is actually our gift in the garbage. Correct? Those of you who've been working with me for a while, you're very familiar with that term. All right. So now that I've shared this in a couple places, yay, hello, happy 12/12. I'm glad that you're here. So this is something I want to share with you that, so I've been working with Isis for a really long time. Isis and Hathor, Kuan Yin, Sekhmet, and Sophia are part of the Sisterhood of the Celestial Fire. And they have, with their guidance and support, have allowed me to bring in some really amazing things. Temple of the Phoenix, Women Walking the Phoenix Path. Hello, everyone who's joining. Hi, welcome. Thanks for being here. Happy 12/12. Hi, Karina. Hi, Sonia. Jante's here. G is here. All my favorite peeps. Yes, together with their guidance and channeling their wisdom, I've been able to bring in some pretty amazing things. And this is something that has really helped me this year. This year has been such a roller coaster. Hi, Barbara. Yes, they are, Karina, absolutely. And congratulations on your book, by the way. I've been reading your posts. That's very exciting. And feel free to share that here in the comments if you like. Share the link to your book. So this really helps with transmuting emotions. So, you know, our impulse is to want to, when we feel things that do not feel wholesome to our being, we want to push away at them. We don't want them in our life. We want them to go bye-bye. But, you know, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It's just energy. It's just energy. And negative emotions aren't really negative in the sense that, you know, they're there for a reason. It's not like they don't serve a purpose. They are guideposts. They are signs. They are telltale breadcrumbs that something is off. Something is not right. And when we can transmute these energies to their opposites, you know, not only are we getting to the other side of what we would call a negative emotion, and that's always going to be growth. Whenever we're getting to the other side of something that, you know, provides unwelcome contrast in our lives, okay? We might have things that are going on in our life right now that are kind of crappy. Maybe we're doing a life review of this past year, which is always so great when it just goes right along with the holidays. You know, we might be ruminating on some things that didn't work out the way we wanted them to, that you know, maybe we're not forgiving ourselves for something, or we're not forgiving someone else for something. When this happens, we are stopped up, we are blocked up in our energy. There can't be movement, there can't be growth. So transmuting these energies is about growth. It's not about pushing away at anything. What you resist persists, right? That's pretty basic. So I'm not going to go into a long diatribe about, why you need negative emotions and the contrast. If you want to know that and go deep into that, that's what Leading Edge Creator is for. But I do, thank you for sharing that, Karina. Wonderful. And I plan on checking that out on Amazon. I just haven't had the chance yet. You're so welcome. This is something we go into in much more depth in Leading Edge Creator. So if you are interested in that program, we start the next live round on the 4th. This is going to be one of the tools you're going to learn in this program in greater depth. So we're getting a powerful preview of this here today. For those of you who are in the program, get excited because we're going to have more of this as a wonderful tool and something to add as a powerful ally in your spiritual toolbox. But also for you folks who are thinking about Leading Edge Creator, there is something that I quietly kind of announced and put forth last night. That is, you had asked, so I answered. I love to deliver things that I'm so passionate about and excited about. I want to make it accessible. Now, there's something to be said for larger investments because, if we're really going to do this work in Leading Edge Creator, we go deep. We go deep. We're sifting through the levels and layers and the overlays and the veils of all this shit that we've learned that needs to be unlearned, or we need to unbecome in order to realize the truth about ourselves. And so this work takes you deep, and so the investment needs to be commensurate with that. So that being said, the live version, the 12-week immersion into bespoke reality, creating your new life, that is a deep, deep dive into excavating all the things that don't belong there anymore and transmuting them into something higher, so you can realize your ideal self. We work with the spiritual laws so that we're working with the least level of resistance. When we're working in beautiful divine union and alchemy with the spiritual laws, we're working with the same principles that shape the universe itself. So we're not working at odds with the way the universe works when we do this work in Leading Edge Creator. It's powerful, it's big, but it is a $2,000 plus investment. Not everybody is in a place to be able to afford that, or maybe you want a powerful taste of it. Maybe you're not looking for something that's crazy transformative. That's okay. You can have another option here. So last night I quietly, yes, January 4th we start. I quietly introduced an option for you, and I'm going to tell you about it real quick, and then we're going to go into this thing. And this isn't a huge plug for Leading Edge Creator. I just want to tell this to those folks who had been asking me about a different option for getting into Leading Edge Creator. So I'm super, super excited to share this with you, and I hope you'll take me up on this offer because it's only going to be available through the 30th of December, and then it goes bye-bye, okay? So we taught Leading Edge Creator. When I say we, I mean me and my spirit team, because this information is largely channeled. So this was taught a few months ago. So all the replays, the recordings, they exist in my member vault right now from version 1. It's an 8-week program. So you have an option to join that for $497. Now that means you only have access to that. You have access to the self-led program that is in the member vault as an online series of recordings. That does not grant you access to the Facebook group because that's for our live program. It does not get you into the next live program. It doesn't pre-enroll you for the live program starting January 4th. But for those of you who really want to get their hands on this material, and it is amazing, this is an option for you. So you had asked, I answered. Now, this will go away on the 30th of this month. And here's the other thing. This is what makes this offer pretty fucking phenomenal, if I have to say so myself. And I'm like really proud of myself. I'm actually proud of Isis because she helped me to be inspired to offer this. That if you get into, let's say you take me up on the offer for Leading Edge Creator, get in on the online program that's just self-study, and that's $497. If you decide on or before the 30th of December that you want to get in to the live program. Like, let's just say you blow through this material and you're like, oh my God, I have to get in the live program. I want support. I want discussion. I want community. And I want to be around women who are all working on this with me. Okay. Which is a powerful, powerful tool as well. What you can do then is use what you've paid, that $497, towards the balance of the total amount due for the live version, which is $22.22. I don't have a calculator right in front of me, but that $497 would be applied towards you paying off the balance, and you'll be able to do it in one, payment, or we can break it up into 3 payments. So that's pretty phenomenal, if you ask me. Now, if there are some women here who can, Barbara's here, so she's like, I'm so excited for the next round. Barbara is part of our flagship membership in Leading Edge Creator and experienced some amazing shifts this year, and as well as some of the other women in there. This is just an incredible group. I love it so much. I cannot believe how excited I am to start it up again. I want to start right now, but holidays. So, but the good thing is, you're going to experience a really powerful tool here right now. Okay. So that's the offer. I'm going to put that up. Let's see. I'm going to find the link, and I'll put that in the comments for you. So you'll have that if you want to get in on that. And this would give you access to all the 8 modules that we've taught this year for Leading Edge Creator. You'll have access to that right now. And you can take your time with it, or you can blow through a couple modules and get to the point where, like, you know what, I think I really do want to get into the live round, and you'll have that option. So let me see if I can find it. Oh, there we go. So you're going to want to make sure if you are taking me up on this offer, that you choose version 1 when you go into the member vault. Version 1 will be the price of $497. Okay. So Angelica's here too. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. So the 7 poisons. So I recognize myself as being someone who is a visionary, a mystic rebel, maverick, creator, and innovator. Have been, always have been. But those of us who identify that way, we think outside of the box. We like to test things out. We like to experiment. We're not afraid to take the road less traveled. We're not afraid to talk about weird shit. We're not afraid to introduce people to new concepts. And then, even more fearlessly, we're not afraid to test things out to such a degree that we can bring that information back and teach it to other people. That is very much my purpose, my mission. It's also my vocation. I'm lucky enough that I have fused my life's purpose and mission into my vocation. I love what I do. I love being a teacher. I love my clients. I'm absolutely in love with what I get to teach and share and do. And I love that it keeps evolving and growing. Leading Edge Creator is proof positive of that. But here's the thing about being in this energy. Those of us who identify as being like mavericks and, rebel creators, innovators, the ones who think outside of the box, the ones who are willing to try new stuff, to innovate, we are often hobbled by some pretty tough and heavy emotions. I call these the 7 poisons. Now, of course, we can have more than that, right? But I want to give you a link to something here just to give you an example. So if you're familiar with the Wheel of Emotions, okay, this is a chart by Dr. Plutchik. And I'm going to give you the link right here so you can look at this. And we have, in this realm of duality, an ability to understand this energy is always going to be dual. It's the law of polarity in action. To everything, there is an equal and opposite energy. This is especially true of our emotions. So for me, when I think about my 7 poisons, my 2 big ones, there are a couple more, but disappointment was a huge one for me. That's what allowed me to go into a huge downward spiral 2 years ago. I'm hitting my anniversary 2 years ago. Around this time, I hit not a Dark night of the soul, because that does not do it justice. It was a spiritual rock bottom. I was ready to go work at McDonald's. Everything was falling apart. My life was just, it felt like a mess. Nothing was gelling. Nothing made sense. I was angry at the world. I was angry at myself, and I was suffering from an incredible amount of disappointment in myself and in my life. This is another cross to bear for those of us who identify as being visionaries and creators. But my two big ones were shame and doubt. And these poisons, they're called poisons. And the 7 deadly poisons, when I was introduced to this concept by Isis, my patroness of spiritual agency and spiritual sovereignty, and also a powerful guide, and has been for me for a long time. When she introduced this concept of the 7 deadly poisons, it's not fatalistic to you, to your human mortality, to your physical being. They're fatalistic to your dreams. And so this is important, because when we have our dreams alive in our imagination, they're untouchable. They're unfuckable with, okay? Pardon me, I swear a lot. If that's a problem for you, you might want to sign off now, because I guarantee this isn't the end of it. I'm a passionate teacher. So our dreams are untouchable when they remain in our inner state. Our dreams are what make us immortal. In other words, our dreams are immortal. And if we're resonating in this place of, we can take something that lives in our mind and make it so real in our mind, we can fill it out. We can actually fill in all the sensory input that we would experience as if it existed in the real world, to make it so fleshed out in our imagination that it is this perfect scenario, right? And in that way, our dreams are immortal. And so here's the rub. Where the fatalistic energy comes in is when we are hobbled by emotions that are so heavy, so burdensome to our creative integrity, like shame or doubt or guilt or anger or frustration or overwhelm, rage, terror, fear, disappointment. These are the dream killers. These are the deadly poisons. And so what I want to offer you right here, right now, is this opportunity to do a quick little excavation. I want you to kind of explore the catacombs of your unconscious for a moment. And I want you to do just a quick review of this year. Think about things that didn't work out. And I don't want you to go back and relive it and relive the pain of it, but I want you to just quickly kind of pluck out, and believe me, if you felt the emotion strongly at the time, it's easy to pluck out what that emotion was, that theme that defines that event for you, that makes it sit in your body as a memory through the anchor of the emotion, okay? So if you had to pick 1 or 2 emotions right now that would be part of your 7 deadly poisons, what would they be? And if you'd like to share them, this is a safe space to share. If you'd like to share them in the comments, you don't have to go into why that is. You can just name a few things. I've already named mine. I've already thrown myself under the bus. And understand that, if you have fear, a lot of us have this invisibility wound where we feel that because of the events of life, we've needed to make ourselves small or invisible. But I want you to understand there's an antidote. Just like I mentioned, in the law of polarity, everything has an equal and opposite energy. So invisibility is the antidote to that. The opposite of that is vulnerability. So, I felt invisible for a really long time. And I thought that I could, kind of puff myself up by being a spiritual authority, or, you're sounding off like a know-it-all sometimes. And sometimes I do. I'm a Capricorn. I just have that in my energy. It's just me. And I've also done this work for a really, really long time. So I feel like I've got a little badge of honor of, being someone who's been doing this work for over 2 decades now. I might know a little bit of what I'm talking about. But I've used my own invisibility wound in a way that was to my detriment, and only caused me more frustration by, taking on the role of authority that made me seem in a way that I'm bulletproof. But in actuality, it's just, 6-year-old Kathryn looking for someone to love me, looking for someone to approve of me. And being vulnerable was my antidote to that. So thank you for sharing frustration, disappointment, doubt. Yeah. Doubt is such a dream killer for those of us who are visionaries, such a dream killer. Fear, shame, doubt. Shame is one of the lowest emotions. on the emotional scale. And in terms of the vibration that emotions have, shame, fear, guilt, terror, disappointment, those resonate really, really low. And those things that resonate really, really low, those emotional impressions, they are the ones that hold us further and further back from taking what lives in our mind and actualizing it in physical reality. Avoidance, that's another huge one. Thank you for sharing that. Shame, yeah, shame is a big one. And I hate to say it, but you know what? Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Women have a lot of shame. Yep, I say fuck it now. So do I. Another lady who likes to swear. Yay, you are my people. You speak my love language. I think fuck is one of the most spiritual words ever. Not everyone would agree with me. People say it's a low vibration. Here's the thing. Intention is everything. And I always use fuck as an exclamation point. Anyway, so when we think about, you know, these emotional impressions and we think about our creativity, think about shame, especially for women. Man, you know, we're taught at a young age, okay, yeah, we start, you know, bleeding. We start bleeding. We're taught we're dirty, okay? We're dirty. There's something wrong with us. We have this messaging that we should be sequestered or, you know, put away from the rest of society. That's been, you know, kind of something that we've carried on as a DNA wounding. It's written in code in our DNA that we were put away from everyone else. We're not worthy to be play on the playground with the other kids. Or, you know, that we get boobs. We get boobs. And all of a sudden we're the center of attention, but not healthy attention. We don't really like it. We don't know what's going on with our bodies. We're going through puberty. Our hormones are all over the goddamn place, right? So shame is something that sadly women, we kind of learn to grapple with that early on, right? And some of us, if we haven't learned to express the healthy transmutation of that energy, which can be sovereignty, it can be self-agency, it can be, you know, a love of the body, where you understand that if I love my body more, my body is a powerful magnet for bringing to me everything that I want. But when we have that shame in the body, it does the opposite, doesn't it? It covers all areas and is limitless, yeah. So shame is, woof. If we want to pick one here today to go with, I mean, we could pick shame, but you can pick anything. You can pick anything that is, whatever comes up first and foremost in your mind, let that, you know, be a message from your intuitive self saying, hey, this is the one that's hobbling us or holding us back from the fullness of life the most right now. So don't try to think about it too much. Just think about something that is, you know, comes up top of mind, okay? All right. So what we're going to do is, hopefully you have some water. This exercise, it doesn't take very long. And the thing is, I like simple and easy. If you work with me, you know simple and elegant is my jam. I am a less is more paradigm kind of gal at this point. I like things stripped down. I like things easy. I'm not going to introduce things to you where you have to like sprinkle fairy dust on yourself and burn Palo Santo and stand under the moon on one leg. We don't do that, okay? I like simple and elegant. Because otherwise you just won't use this stuff, right? So have a little bit of water. And I want you to just kind of go into the breath really quickly. So if you're seated, I want you to sit up as straight as you can. Keep that spine straight because we're working with the spine here. We're going to be working with the root and the rising of energy from the root chakra up through the crown and out through the soul star. So sit up straight, and I want you to start feeling your breath in your chest. Just get very present. Anywhere you've got your mind or your energy on something that came before this time here today, I want you to simply let it go. You can let your mind return to it, ruminate on it when this is done. This is your time to give this gift to yourself of presence, of clearing, of resolution, of moving into more of an expression of your higher idealized self. This is the gift you give to yourself. If you give yourself one present this Christmas season, those who celebrate Christmas, let this be it, this transmutation of energy. I want you to feel the breath starting in the belly. And as you inhale, bring it up through the mid-body, into the chest. I want you to bring it up now into the throat. And I want you to be mindful of any energy that you're clearing in the throat. When we conjure negative emotions, we can feel it hobbling our expression, like it might feel like a lump in the throat. And I want you to just send the breath there really quickly and just clear that. You can imagine it as a ball of energy. Maybe it's gray or heavy, just whoop, just opening up. And I want you to bring the breath up from the belly again and going deeper now with the inhale. And as you exhale, do a physiological sigh. So you can feel that extra clearing in the throat with the physiological sigh and the exhale, yeah? So do that again because that feels real good. Yeah. Understand that you are a walking divining rod. You are a walking tuning fork. So when you use the sound of your own body, the sound that you can express release with, you are tuning the body to resonate in an experience of release. So you're already getting your body ready, primed for the energy that's going to build out as we go. Okay, so do that one more time. Really pulling that up on the inhale, deep in the belly, up to the diaphragm, to the chest, up to the throat. Feels good, right? So now I want you just have your breath return to normal. And just kind of track it on the rise and fall. And I want you to go ahead and gently close your eyes. I want you to gently close your eyes, and I want you to imagine this emotion that you want to work on right here, right now. And it's good to work on one emotion at a time. And you can use this exercise to work on them back to back, but I like to give integration time in between. So maybe you can make it your goal over the next 7 days to work on your 7 poisons and give it one day at a time so you can integrate, feel all the feels, in other words, and process these emotions that come with this emotion, this poison, as it moves out, because other things can be attached to this core negative emotion. So giving yourself a period of a day to kind of process, let things move through, working with one of these poisons at a time. Maybe make it your goal over the next 7 days to work on yours. And really be with the emotion as it moves out, okay? Don't worry, I'm going to give you the tool to transmute it. So with your eyes closed, I want you to focus on this emotion. And I want you to see it as a cool, kind of jagged rock. Like you're walking on the beach and you see this piece of granite, or maybe you're walking alongside a riverbed and you see a piece of limestone, and it could be a grayish green, but give it a dull color. And maybe it has some sharp edges to it. If you want to imagine it as something that's smooth, you can do that. But I want you to imagine that emotion is this rock. And once you get a powerful image of that, go ahead and place it at the base of your spine. And I want you to become aware as you place this rock there that represents this emotion, this poison. I want you to be aware of how it feels. You may have another emotional imprint or impression coming up around this. So for instance, if you're feeling apprehension, you might feel annoyance. You might feel kind of a low-grade anxiety creeping in, okay? I just want you to notice these emotions. Just be with them and adopt a kind of curiosity about it. That's coming in too. Maybe there's some sadness coming in around that. I don't want you to spend too long there because you don't need to go into ruminating on it. I just want you to create the awareness in the body of the impression that it has on the nervous system, because the body is the subconscious. The body represents the subconscious. So this powerful theme, this impression, is creating a powerful identity crisis in your subconscious that's saying, I am that, when the spirit soul part of you is saying, no, you're not. Your divine blueprint is that of abundance. Your divine blueprint is that of you and your truth. You are a soul being having a temporary human experience where these emotions might be pervasive and stubborn themes for you, but they do not define you. You are not that. So it creates this conflict, and it starts in the subconscious because you feel it in the body, and the body is the subconscious. So in order to move through emotions and transmute them properly, you have to feel them in the body. We don't have to sit there and ruminate on them and chew on them and languish in them and marinate in them. It's just about noticing them and noticing what comes along with that key emotion, right? If it's fear, you might notice that, stress comes along with that. Anxiety comes along with that. You might feel your heart closing in. You might feel your shoulders slumping in over your heart. This is a natural way the body signals to itself, like we want to protect. Okay, just notice these things. And now I want you to imagine, what is the opposite? What is, if you were to imagine a scale of emotions, and let's say you're experiencing fear, and you want to experience acceptance. You want to experience security. You want to experience safety. And as you think about what is the opposite expression, remember, with the law of polarity, we're not working on getting rid of this. We're working with the law of polarity, which states that to everything there is an equal and opposite energy. It's just energy. So we're taking the powerful fuel that is funding this emotion and we're changing it. We're giving it a different form. And you can start by imagining, as you take this fear or whatever emotion it might be, shame, and turning it into being powerful, confident, courageous. And as you do that, I want you to notice that stone changes into a gem. Something that looks like a polished, shiny gem. And this could be whatever you like. It could be lapis. It could be a beautiful crimson colored ruby. It could be a deep blue sapphire. It could be a beautiful peridot. It could even be something like something fun like a rose quartz, something very loving, an amethyst. It could be a moonstone. Aggravation, peace. I mean, aggravation, you could also think of agitation, right? You could think of the opposite as calm, tranquility. And if anyone else is having trouble finding their opposite, go ahead and put it here and I'll help you. So run through the emotions of aggravation is also agitation. It's like feeling itchy in your skin. What if it just felt like calm, serene, tranquil? Okay, make sense? Okay. And if you're feeling, things like confusion, what if it was knowing? What if it was peace in knowing? If you're having difficulty with forgiving yourself or forgiving someone else, acceptance, right? And it's difficult when we don't forgive someone else because it actually hobbles our growth. And we want to change that person, but that's not how it ever works. It's about being able to move into a place of acceptance, like this happened. This happened, it belongs to the moment. It doesn't belong to me. This impression does not belong to me. It doesn't define me. It doesn't identify me. Right? So if you can imagine this beautiful gem now, whatever it might be, and whatever comes to mind, don't sit with it and try to play with it too long. It should pop up in your intuitive awareness fairly quickly. Okay? And as you visualize this at the base of your spine, say, with love and gratitude, I now transmute this poison of fear. I now transmute this poison of aggravation. I now transmute this poison of shame. And I release you in all your forms. Thank you for the learning. Now you must transmute, and the energy must rise. Let me see if I can read the comments. I'm getting some beautiful comments about people's experiences. Let's see if I can find it again. I lost the comments. Oh no. Thanks, Facebook. 3 steel arrows came up in my body to transmute into giving strength to others. Yes. Make sure you give plenty of that strength to yourself first, right? It belongs to the moment, not to me. It is a great teaching, isn't it? I remind myself of that one all the time. So as you visualize it there, just remember to say with love and gratitude, I transmute you from the energy of grief, shame, doubt, aggression, aggravation, disappointment. And I release you in all your forms. Thank you for the learning. Now you must transmute and rise. And I'll go back and I'll put it in the comments here, but just imagine now in your mind's eye, that gem rising up, almost like a Kundalini energy, rising up, going along each vertebra of the spine, but also informing each chakra as it rises up, going through the sacral, going through what I call the solar feminine center, which is in between the solar plexus and the heart. Make sure you hit that solar plexus first, then the solar feminine center, between the solar plexus and the heart, and then the heart. And you might notice the gem gets bigger as it rises up. It might become a little more sparkly, brighter. You can see it in greater relief in your imagination, as if it just becomes brighter and brighter and brighter as that energy continues to rise up through the higher chakras, informed by the higher vibrations of the upper chakras. And as you bring it up through the heart, bring it up into the higher heart, just below the throat. And then into the throat, rising up. And now imagine it just at the back of the skull, where the skull meets the neck. It's kind of informing the causal chakra there a little bit too. Up through the brow, up to the crown, so hovering just above the head. And as you see it above the crown now, notice how this gem has become brighter and brighter and even bigger. And now in your mind's eye, I want you to double the size of whatever you see. And double the energy. Feel that energy as it ripples out, spills out. And imagine it is a shower of energy raining down over the entire energetic container of your body. Like this beautiful spiritual shower of energy. And it goes so deep within you to the subatomic level. It goes through the cells, through the tissues, the organs, the muscles, the nerves, way, way deep down into the cellular level. And then you feel it radiating up and out from the cellular level and back and up into the crown, and then see it shoot up and out of the soul star chakra, which is about 12 to 16 inches above the top of the head. And what does that feel like? And I know that seems really simple, but here's the thing, the more you do it and you let the energy build and really feel that transmutation of energy, it's very powerful. Being just introduced to it here and having to walk you through the steps, yeah, it might feel a little disjointed at first, but the more you do this, the better it feels. And here's what's really great about giving this a visual and giving this energy. And you can open your eyes now if you like and take a deep breath, have a sip of water. But the more you do this, here's what you'll notice. You'll notice that it becomes a cue. So here's how you can use this. So you don't have to go back into a full meditation with this. Remember the shape, the color, the vibration, the energy of the gem that has transmuted from, the kind of dull stone or rock. And Stones and rocks aren't dull for me because I love the stone people. So it's hard for me to call them dull. But for the sake of this exercise, you know, you think of the energy you would like to transmute as being something dull. It has rough edges, right? It's kind of grayish green, or maybe it's even black, or, you know, it's got a lot of sand on it, or, you know, it's dirty, okay? So for the sake of transmuting this energy, when you turn it into the gem, when you go throughout your day and you notice those themes coming up, this is why you have to recognize it when you first start to transmute this energy. What are the other impressions that are coming in around this negative emotion? Okay, so when you feel that throughout your day, and largely what we feel are echoes from our past, okay, and we'll have a thought that is an echo, something we're attracting out of a memory of who we are. A lot of us aren't thinking new thoughts, not really, not unless we're actively changing our paradigm of self. A lot of us have our thoughts on repeat because we're attracting based on a memory of who we are. We wake up in the morning and what, you know, our thoughts are like, oh shit, this happened yesterday. I got to fix this today, right? We have this natural go-to of, you know, relating to self as a memory of who we've been. We're not thinking ourselves anew. So understand when you are thinking thoughts throughout your day that take you into that energetic impression and emotion of something that's not wholesome to you, something you don't want to feel, remember the gem. Call it up. Conjure it up in your imagination. And I will bet you dollars to donuts, the more you do this, you will also have the impression of the transmuted emotion present itself too. Okay? Black stone into labradorite comes to mind. Ooh, I love labradorite. Labradorite is fun. It's a very powerful stone, isn't it? So it felt like cool, tingling energy traveling up my spine, especially strong in the lower back. Yes, the lower back, lower chakras represent more grounded emotions, right? There are more human expression of self rather than the divine self in a body. It's the human body only touching on the divine self. So the chakras can teach us a lot about where we're vibrating. So if the energy in the lower chakra feels really strong and powerful when you first start to transmute the energy, we might be vibrating with an identity that happens to be rather low. We're working with a lot of low creational forces instead of higher creational or higher vibrational forces to create our reality. So you don't have to, you know, judge yourself based on that. You don't have to kick yourself for being that. Just notice it. Be curious about it. Why might that be? And now I have this powerful tool that I can transmute it. But here's the thing. You're going to have to be with those emotions. You don't have to, I mean, when I took you through the exercise, we didn't spend a lot of time there. It's just about noticing what's there. But I'm also telling you, like, be with it just for a second to notice it, to be curious about it, to kind of witness it. You can imagine yourself going into your divine witness energy and just being like, huh, that's interesting. I'm feeling this today. This would be a good time to transmute this energy. And, you know, a really good way to give yourself feedback on this is to be with the energy long enough just to say, I know that this is not feeding my vision. This is not feeding or funding or fueling where I want to go, who I want to become. So I must transmute this. And it's in my power to do that. And the more you do this, and you go through, you know, this maybe once every 7 days with one of your different poisons, what you'll start to notice is that you'll feel a lot brighter in your energy. Now, using the gems, Jim, that's a slip. My husband's name is Jim. Using these gems, you're going to naturally feel a little brighter, a little more sparkly in your energy. You're going to have a little more pep in your step. You're going to feel a little more high vibration about what it is that you're going to be creating now and going into your future, going into 2024. You know, we are in this 12-12 portal, so this is a very, very powerful time to recognize this fact that 12 is a completion number in terms of our spiritual monad body. And that means that throughout a lot of the fields that, you know, represent as causal fields, karmic fields, astral fields, etheric fields, what we're experiencing is like a turning cycle in our DNA, like 12 strands of DNA represents activated DNA. When we are working with the number 12, we're working with a powerful spiritual catalyst. We're only beginning to touch the surface of what the number 12 means for us, how symbolic it is for us as spiritual beings having a human experience. It's a completion number. So I want you to understand this day is a powerful catalyzing day for working through a spiritual level of completion. Now, what might that mean for you? Is there a theme that has been on a relentless loop for you? How is this emotion maybe indicative of, there's a reason why it came up first and foremost for you. How might this emotion be indicative of where you are done with a certain spiritual cycle? Where you're done with a cycle of self-diminishment, self-discounting, being disappointed with yourself, feeling like you should be here, but you're not yet. You don't have to do that to yourself. Instead, just notice these emotions. And there's 12 people here right now. Oh, how perfect. Just notice how these are providing the contrast you need to see that I'm no longer that. This is no longer serving me. This no longer has anything to share with me. There's nothing else for me to learn here. I'm done. I can wipe my hands of this energy. I can wash my hands of this theme, this impression, this memory of self that I'm still calling me. I don't want to call myself or identify myself as this memory anymore. It doesn't serve where I'm going. That kind of energy that was there, that was inherent in this level of me, is not the same energy I need to take me where I'm going. Simply recognize this. Be willing to let it go. It's easy to transmute the energy. Sometimes the hardest part is being willing to let it go. Because we do go through a grief of self. When we lose an experience of self, we grieve for that loss of identity. And this identity might not have been something that was wholesome to us, or very loving to us, or very supporting. But it has gotten us to this place. And here's something that might really help those of you who are afraid to let certain things go. Because we let a part of self go, we let a memory of self go, we stop identifying as a certain kind of person. There's a kind of awareness that hits, not always first and foremost, but an awareness that hits that this means that I don't get to engage in this behavior anymore. This means that, I don't get to hide anymore. This means that I'm going to have to step up. This means I'm going to have to take more responsibility for myself. I'm going to have to be more accountable for my reality. This means I might lose this person in my life. And so we'll naturally kind of pull back, and we'll want to grieve for that loss of identity because of all the things that come with that in physical reality. But here's the thing, and here's how to make peace with this version of self. Imagine yourself being so grateful for this version of you. She got you here. Lay flowers at her feet. Love her. Be so, so grateful for her. And this is important because for some of us who have a lot of terror, a lot of trauma, we have a lot of triggering moments in our early life, that version of you that you must untether yourself from now, perhaps she was the only one who was ever there for you. I know. I know. Whew. Just kind of let that be. This is why you have to love her. This is why you have to thank her. This is why you have to have gratitude for her. Because those things that she figured out in her creativity to help you survive, to help you manage, to help you cope, we might call them self-sabotage. We might call it self-preservation. We might call it procrastination. We might call it pulling back. We might call it a contracted way of being. We might call it an invisibility wound. Doesn't matter. These are all expressions of love to help you to keep going. Now, why might that be? Why might you still be here? You got shit to do, lady. You got shit to do. That is why you're still here. So embrace this part of you. Embrace this memory of you. Embrace and love this version of you, but lay flowers at her feet. Give her proper burial so you may experience freedom to become your ideal self. That's the only way it really works. You can't have one foot in each world. You can't serve two masters. You can't try to serve this old version of you and appease her and keep her happy and make her feel safe and secure and cocoon her. Well, at the same time, I'm not on the other side of your face saying, but I want this, I want more money, and I want a soulmate life partner, and I want this great business, and I want to thrive. You cannot have 2 feet in 2 worlds. You've got to Something's got to give. You can't serve two masters. You can't hold, the subconscious can't hold two conflicting thoughts that are in opposition to itself and give it the same energy in the brain. And if you think that you can, you're going to be in for a really long ride of frustration and overwhelm. So the only real answer is to let that version of you go. And what better time, and in what more auspicious and wonderful catalyzing energy than right now on this 1212 portal. Speak into that letting the memory be dissolved. Yeah, letting the memory be dissolved. I hope that helped you. I hope my little speech just now helped you, Kimberly. So I want to leave this here. I hope that you'll use this tool. I hope that you'll embrace it. I hope that you'll remember that gem that you used. And throughout the day today, remembering those emotions, those impressions, those memories of you, those thoughts on repeat that you're just attracting, you're not thinking them anew. When that comes in and you have the emotion that follows on the heels of that thought, conjure up your gem. Have that gem right there. Put it in the center of your heart. Put it on top of your crown chakra. Let it shower down energy on you so you can be in that bath of beautiful, supportive, energetic feeling again. Okay? Bye-bye, everyone.